All right, welcome to another episode of Take a Look with Ryan and Darryl. I am Ryan Snyder, your host, and I'm joined by my co-host, Darryl Griffin.
Thanks, Ryan. Today we'll be diving into our word on the street and talking about how you can stay busy and take advantage of the slow season or prep season.
Awesome. Well, first, what's going on in your life, Darryl? What's new? What's happening?
What's the word on my street? McDonald app. Oops, still, yeah. What's new?
We have a new guest in the office today.
Yeah, so Charlie, I think we introduced him last week.
It's been actually really nice having Charlie in the office because he's not a crazy bark dog.
No,
he's like
chill.
Classical chill golden.
Yeah.
And if you want to see a bit more of Charlie, check out his own Instagram page.
One Look Charlie.
And where you can get a little bit of all the behind-the-scenes cuteness of our K9 companion.
Yeah, life in the office as a dog. It's pretty easy, gotta say. He doesn't take any of those difficult phone calls.
Yeah, and when I work from home and don't show up to the office, you have someone here to keep you company.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like when I'm going to leave next week on my trip to Costa Rica.
And I'll have to do everything.
Which I'm very excited about. It is in honor of my mother-in-law's 70th birthday. So happy birthday to my mother-in-law, Corey Christians. She
Happy
is
birthday, Corey.
So much fun and a source of wisdom and, wisdom, Mom, is that okay to say? She'll see this at some point and she'll be like, oh, Ryan. Anyways, going to Costa Rica for 10 days. We're really excited. We're going to go to the beach for 5 days, and then we're going to be in the jungle for 5 days. And it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit jealous, but I am going to Mexico for Christmas, so I can't be too jealous.
I am a little upset with you on that because this is the first Christmas in I don't know how many years where you're not going to be there.
7 or at least.
We'll make do, but we'll have Charlie with us, so that'll
That's
be
true.
okay.
You get a little piece of me through Charlie. I mean, so you've got a few acres at your house. So what are you doing to winterize this year? What's on your to-do list?
Yeah, well, I started doing some things like getting all the kids' outdoor toys put away, the lawn chairs. I actually cleaned my barbecue for the first time since I bought it in 3 years?
It's probably pretty
greasy. 4 years. And so it took a whole layer of grease out of that thing. But one thing that we got to do yet, Darryl, this is the first year you need to winterize your motorcycle.
Yes.
So we're gonna do
some
that.
Fuel stabilizer in there.
Fuel stabilizer, oil changes, give it a little wipe down the whole bit, and
throw a cover on it and call it a day till next year.
I'm not looking forward to winter, but I'm excited to kind of just work on the bike a little bit more before the season ends.
Yeah. Now I live in town, so I have a little less to do, but I do have to put some stuff under a tarp.
Yeah.
So it's busy, busy.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the word on the street. The word on the street right now, Darryl, is that MLS has come up with some new regulations regarding advertising, and it's kind of it feels like they're kind of going to war with anything that's AI on the digital side. Yeah. I think the intention is to avoid misrepresenting listings by overly augmented images,
which is fair. Yeah,
but there are some kind of wild things. I want to read a little of the section from the Article 5 that they put out here, and we can tell me what you think. So here, the following images cannot be included in an MLS listing. Digitally altered images, including the use of any artificial intelligence system or technology to create, alter, or enhance images, or digital staging that do not accurately depict the listed real estate.
Yeah. So it sounds heavy, but I think the caveat is that last sentence where it's does not accurately depict the listed real estate, because I think you can use AI, and we certainly do, to improve our workflow to create the images that we do, but it's not necessarily misrepresenting the property. So when it says, what does it say there?
Yeah.
The last word, the last sentence.
Do not accurately depict.
Yeah, accurately depict.
Yeah.
So even virtual staging, like there's a way that you could do that doesn't accurately depict the listing, but there's a way you can do it where it does. So that, using furniture that wouldn't fit in the space and making it smaller, like making the furniture smaller than it actually would be to make it look like a bigger room. That doesn't accurately depict the listed real estate. But if done properly, I think it could still do it. So
well, I think it really comes down to how they're going to decide to enforce this
That's
thing.
true,
So
yeah.
precedent will be set once they start handing out
Yes,
fines, and I
yeah.
think that starts at the beginning of this month, December, and yeah, we'll see what happens because like if are they going to go after like AI sky replacements, because that we use AI for a lot of different elements in our photography.
well, what's the burden of proof, if you will?
Well,
Like,
and that's the other part of it. How are you going to prove
are you gonna go
that
back to
AI
that
was
day and
used?
be like, oh, it was raining that day, so you can't have a blue sky? Like
Yeah, and to be fair, like there are certain areas where I'm like, okay, like this photo looks absolutely nothing like the listing. Yeah, and it's where it doesn't make sense. So like day to night conversions for like virtual twilights, that may be under that umbrella as well.
if they're not done properly or well, like there's ways where it's like, oh, you're showing a sunset, but it's actually facing the wrong way.
Yeah, well, it
Suns-
comes.
yeah.
I think it comes down to what the spirit of this new law is, and how they enforce it will kind of judge that out over time. But I don't think it affects real estate agents too much because ultimately MLS is only one place where you can put your listing photos or other content. So, like for example, we have our single page listing websites that we offer in our marketing kit, but also social media, your print materials. There's a lot of other places to use these kinds of materials, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens and be careful with where they set that precedent when it comes to fines.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense, and I think maybe it will kind of crack down on some of the abusers of said systems where they're going a little bit too far with things. Yeah, we're seeing a lot more Torontonians come to like the county, Belleville, the Quinte region, and I think they're coming to escape that hustle and bustle of the city a little bit, and well, also you can sell your place in Toronto, right, like for a pretty decent price and get at least double the size here for the same budget. So,
well, it's interesting to kind of see the waves of influx, not just to the county, but the Bay of Quinte area, and mainly from Toronto, but also from Ottawa and Montreal.
Yeah.
We often see a lot of tourism here, of course, but there's a lot of people moving here. We're actually in the second fastest growing rural community in Ontario.
Yeah.
The first being North Bay, I believe, where we kind of compete with them for that. But yeah, I think there's just the city is getting really full.
Right.
If you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Last time, I think the 401's the busiest highway in the world right now, and it's moving out this way. It's really not that far. You're only like an hour and a half, 2 hours from the GTA.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of growth and development happening here, and developments all over northern Belleville, and in the county as well. So there's a lot more development happening. Even though it seems slow, we still are growing. And it's actually a pretty exciting thing because I would love to see Belleville in particular be urbanized or metropolized even, because we live in such a great, natural, beautiful area on the Bay of Quinte, and you see all these signs for maybe potential condos going up, and I was like, I would love to see that, so I can just the views that you would see over the bay would be.
The proximity to the different major cities, I think, is a big draw for Belleville, being a bigger city already in between. But you're, like you said, a couple hours from Toronto, but you're also only a couple hours from Ottawa. You've got the rolling Northumberland Hills nearby. You've got the Bay of Quinte waterfront. And I think that it's just going to be good overall to increase the amenities that are available to the people of Belleville. So more things to do, maybe some more or like bigger named concerts, like more metropolis, I guess, active lifestyle where you're out and about and there's people too. Like actually, we just went to the Belleville Santa Claus parade this past weekend, and we were like shocked at the number of people even out at that. So I think that's just going to increase, and they even extended it this year further east on Bridge Street, probably to accommodate extra people. So.
Well, I'm excited just that more investment is coming to the area. So, like, we're seeing places like Base 31 that are creating that third place to be, where it's not just home and work, but there's other places you can be, and you don't necessarily have to spend money where you go.
Yes.
And in Belleville, the Memorial Marketplace that is currently being renovated. There's already some new storefronts in there. I cannot wait until that place opens up. There's going to be, I believe, event space, food options, and it's right downtown, and it's going to be a great spot, like I say, as that third place.
Yeah, no, it's exciting.
All right, well, let's jump into our main topic today, Darryl. We're talking about staying busy and taking advantage of the quote-unquote slow season, as we like to say, the prep season, because this really is the time of year where you can actually do all the things that over the year you've been like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that, and you get so busy throughout the, I think, the spring market and the kind of that resurgence in the late summer and early fall, and then I think most people, they just kind of take their foot off the gas when it comes to the winter months, where it's like, okay, it's slow, I'm just going to take some time off, and then we'll reset for the spring. Why is that a bad idea?
Well, I think there needs to be a balance. So as we all know, real estate has its ups and its peaks and valleys in terms of how busy you are. And having an insanely busy spring season, it's really easy to be like, okay, winter comes, I'm done. Like I'm taking a break. I'm self-caring the shit out of those months.
Yeah.
But the danger is then you're missing out on those opportunities that someone else might be taking advantage of. So they're going after new clients, and they're putting money into marketing, and they're being that person who's seen. And so in the slow season, especially in winter, people are sitting at home. It's dark at 4:30. That might be the time that you're going to get their attention the best, because they're at home, they're on their phones maybe a little bit more than in summer when they're out and about doing a ton of activities. So if you are the face that's showing up, if you're adding value, if they're thinking of selling or buying in the spring, and you're coming up first because you're putting in those efforts, I think that's only going to translate into more business in the spring. So
well, and I think too, a great use of this time is doing the client care. That I mean, I feel like I've been putting that off because we get so busy with the different projects. It's like, oh, I need to check in with these different clients and see how they're doing. Make sure you're doing that client care. In real estate, as a real estate agent, it's not a one and done kind of thing. So it's really important that you keep that relationship going, because oftentimes, well, most of the time, is like people will stick with their same realtor through their entire life. So for example, for me, for the last 3 real estate transactions, I've used the same real estate agent, and we have a great working relationship. So now is the time to really check in, make those phone calls with past clients, maybe even some cold calls, make some, or
I love cold calls.
Yeah. Or just starting making those connections now, so they translate to actual business when the time is right.
If you have used the same agent for a while, and then you're thinking about selling, you're thinking about buying again, and you haven't really heard from them, that might prompt you to be like, oh, maybe I'll see what like Joe down the street is doing. Maybe they can help me out this time. And it's like, that's the last thing you want, because like you said, it's typically a lifelong relationship, because I think the average family moves once every 5 years. So you don't really want to lose out on that almost guaranteed business. Like if you had a great transaction with them the first time and they were super happy, you take advantage of that.
Yeah, and it usually always translates to more work, right? Especially considering the majority of real estate sales are death and divorce. So you have a lot of estates, families, complicated situations, but you end up, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of different deals happening. And the better relationship you have established with your current clients, the more that's going to come back to you moving forward. But I think one of the other really important things to focus on in the quote unquote slow season or prep season is
it's starting to feel really busy now,
it does
after all of these things.
Exactly. But really focusing on your marketing at this time of year is super important. I think, like I said earlier, it's so easy to like take your foot off the gas because you're so caught into like the each transaction, each deal. But your business isn't just making the deals; it's actually getting building the relationships to get the business in the first place, whether you're listing or buying or both. So.
Well, I think this is the time of year, or like soon, that we typically start seeing agents rebranding, updating their website, getting new headshots. They might even be jumping brokerages to try something new. We see a lot of that come out in January, February. It's hey, I'm now with this brokerage. So that's someone who's been putting some thought into like, what can I do best to success or to set myself up for success next year?
And, well, this is the perfect time for self-definition, self-defining.
Yes.
So finding...
Not self-defecation.
No, self-defining. Define who you are as an agent, what your niche is, and then find out what your audience wants to hear. So this is the perfect time, not just for your marketing planning. Well, part of that would be under your social media plan.
Yeah.
What, it's great to post listings. It's great to post little tidbits here and there, but what is your plan? What is your strategy? Who is your audience?
Don't give away too much now, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like we've got some exciting upcoming information on that, so we won't go too deep.
So we'll, but yes, now is the time to focus on those plans, and we have some exciting products that are going to help out with specifically the social media side, and really kind of really finding the proper demographic that you want to speak to, and make sure that you're communicating it effectively.
Yeah.
So, it's not a time to waste this time of year. Please, though, take a vacation.
Yes.
I know you're going to Mexico. I'm going to somewhere else.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, thank you. I keep wanting to say Puerto Rico.
Yes.
It's not the same place.
I think it's while we say, don't take your foot off the gas, it is okay to enjoy time with your family and loved ones who maybe you haven't connected with in a while. Go to a spa, treat yourself,
It's
get a massage or give someone a massage. I don't know. It might lead to more fun. Wink.
It is a time for self-care as well, though. Yeah. I mean, I highly recommend everybody have an element of self-care from their day-to-day, for week to week, month, year to year. But when you do have the time to maybe actually go out to the spa, one of our favorite places, of course, is St. Anne's. Yeah. There's also Thermea in Whitby.
And Northumberland Heights. And speaking of Northumberland Heights, when we first went there, they basically gave us, they did a free like tracksuit, like sweater.
I know, it was like a cult of relaxation.
Yeah.
And I was all about it.
But where I'm getting at is I think we need to go back because my sweatpants are getting a little tattered. And I think I need another
spa for the sweatpants.
I'm going to the spa for the sweatpants specifically. So let's book that.
But the spa is not the only self-care thing. One thing that I'm actually really passionate about is yoga. I find yoga means to unify, and what that means to me is really unifying body, soul, and mind, so you can be centered, so you can be have self-control, self-awareness, so you can then actually do the things that we're talking about, doing the market research, building the marketing plans, and you can do that with a clear and level mind, so you can hit the target that you're trying to go for.
Yeah.
So self-care, super important, body, mind, soul. Now is the time to, if maybe not just doing the one-off thing, but start building those habits so you can perform better over the next year.
Yeah, and actually Ryan doesn't really even need to go to a spa, because if you've been to his house, he's got a gym in his garage, a sauna in his garage, a cold plunge in his garage, and a hot tub outside. So I think you just need an in-house masseuse.
Spa de Snyder. It's wonderful.
Spa de Snyder.
I that's why
I do take advantage of it.
I am
sometimes.
a huge homebody, and I even like going to Costa Rica. I'm like, yeah, but my house is so nice.
He doesn't even like to come to my house, so
I don't like going anywhere because I have an oasis in my house. But that's what COVID did. They said you weren't supposed to go anywhere, so you made your home amazing, and now I don't want to leave.
Well, I think it's time for our product spotlight. So this week we're highlighting our Ultimate Social Media Bundle or add-on, and what that is an excellent add-on if you are trying to market your listings on social media specifically. So what comes with it? 3 reels. So 2 are our social reels. They're kind of just highlights of the home set to trending music, usually fast-paced.
And if you're on camera, those are the perfect reels to really feature yourself on social media.
Yep. And the 3rd reel is a zoom-through reel, which is another fun one that you can be in as well. So you could be opening the door as they kind of zoom past you, or walking through the kitchen or living room areas.
Well, the zoom through is really great because it's not a cinematic listing video.
Yeah,
so
there's no emotion in it.
It's a very quick, as the name suggests, zoom through of the listing. So you get a quick snapshot of the entire house, and we can add so much different personal flair to that, especially if
Yes.
agents are on camera.
Yeah.
Which, if you are not on camera right now, social
on
media is the
camera.
perfect place to do that. This product is a perfect place to really get kind of get your feet wet and really start getting on camera and speaking to your audience. So yeah, I love the Ultimate Social Bundle. It is such a great value for it as well, because you're getting 3 reels. Or what's the add-on? What's it go for?
$300.
$300 for 3 reels, and that's an add-on from existing packages. But it's it's a great product, and I think it's probably one of our best sellers this year.
Yeah, and well, it's great too with listings now sitting on the market just a little bit longer than they used to on the up one day, sold the next. You have that content that's you can spread out over your social media, and we won't get too deep into what you should be doing on social media on this episode, but it is nice to have fresh content for your listing that you can post over the length of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a wrap for this episode of Take a Look. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks, Darryl.
Yeah. Be sure to catch our next episode.